Whether it was Big Daddy Cool Shawn Michaels or Seth Rollins with J&J Security or current WWE Champion Big E's initial run alongside Dolph Ziggler and AJ Lee, we do know quite a few male bodyguards in WWE. But how many female enforcers can you recall? I'm Kevin, and here are 6 female bodyguards in WWE history. That's right, why do a top 5 when you can do a top 6? Number 6, Asia. Let's be honest, the final stages of WCW were pretty sad. It was a hard time for them keeping up with WWE at that point, with a ratings war that had a solid gap. Sportskeeda's very own, our good friend, bro, Vince Russo joined WCW as the new lead writer and saw him come up with a few polarizing gimmicks that were pointed out by many to be ripoffs or parodies of WWE. Don't come at me, bro, I didn't say it. Asia was a character booked to be WCW's version of China, with the joke being Asia being bigger than China. Geography jokes, guys, because it's the continent. It's not the country. Alright, you've already looked at a map. WCW placed Asia in the Revolution faction, but the gimmick itself fell flat from day one. Although the Revolution had big names such as Dean Malenko, Chris Benoit, Shane Douglas, and Perry Saturn, they barely made any impact, and Asia didn't turn out to be bigger than China, even though geographically that's still incorrect. Yes, I looked at a map myself. Number 5, Jazz. ECW found success with Jazz when introducing her as a woman who could get the better of male wrestlers, and she can legitimately do that. Jazz's successful ECW run saw her associated as a part of the Impact Players, featuring Lance Storm from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and Just Incredible. Jason Knight, Dawn Marie, and Jazz all had different roles, helping Storm and Credible during their matches. Jazz showed her potential as an enforcer and eventually got signed by WWE. WWE pushed Jazz in a top heel role a few years later, and in her short stint in the company, she won the Women's Championship twice. Number 4, Awesome Kong. One of the more early underrated moments of AEW came at Double or Nothing 2019. Awesome Kong made a shocking debut, replacing Brandi Rhodes in a fatal 4-way match against the original talents of Britt Baker, Kylie Rae, and Nyla Rose. Brandi introduced Kong as a fellow heel that was doing her bidding. Kong seemed ready to shine in these early glimpses of AEW's first few shows. The heel promos of Rhodes would see Kong backing her up as a perfect bodyguard character. This angle didn't run as long as expected due to Kong working on the hit Netflix Glow series and both parties going their separate ways. Plus, Brandi Rhodes' faction of the Nightmare Collective is regarded as one of the big misses in AEW's first year. Number 3, Tamina. That's right, who Mina than Tamina? WWE has primarily used Tamina Snuka in a bodyguard role for multiple wrestlers, with remarkable success. She has proven herself to be a dynamic performer who can adapt as a second-generation star to whatever the situation demands. Initially, it was with the Usos. Then after that, she was with AJ Lee and helped her have a very successful WWE Divas Championship reign. Tamina then was paired with Naomi and Lana, and they each found chemistry. The commitment to the role helped Tamina remain in the women's division for many years, and led her to a WWE Women's Tag Team Championship reign with Natalya, a very emotional moment for both performers. Number 2, Raquel Gonzalez. The success of Raquel Gonzalez showed just how much an enforcer character can achieve. WWE NXT built an association between Gonzalez and a devious Dakota Kai when Kai turned heel and needed a way to get heat from the viewers. Kai and Gonzalez eventually turned out to be one of the best acts in NXT and ended up being the first ever NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. To be honest, fans were a bit surprised when Raquel received a bigger push than Dakota by putting an end to Io Shirai's NXT Women's Championship reign. Gonzalez getting over as a bodyguard and winning the title before the wrestler who preceded her surprised many, and kind of mirrors the dynamics between Big Daddy Cool Diesel and Shawn Michaels. Now, just imagine what Raquel Gonzalez is going to do when she gets out of NXT and moves on to Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown. Number 1. Chyna. The female bodyguard role was perfected by Chyna when she joined WWE. If you are not aware, Triple H had trained Chyna and went on to pitch the idea of bringing her into WWE as a bodyguard for him and Shawn Michaels. WWE Chairman Vince McMahon wasn't fond of the idea of a woman overpowering men, but when WCW showed interest, Chyna was told that the WWE would offer her contract as well. Upon her debut, Chyna instantly improved Triple H's first heel run as Hunter Hearst Helmsley by getting involved physically in his matches. She continued to evolve as a performer and became a massive part of WWE's Attitude Era success as a part of D-Generation X, and went on to become the first, and to this date, the only female WWE Intercontinental Champion. The association between WWE and Chyna would end in 2001, owing much to mutual differences, but one thing was for certain: she was rightfully the 9th wonder of the world.